back. I'm Dr. Pete, the Stress Surfer, and we're working our way through the 4 elements of well-being, and those are mindsets, emotions, lifestyle, and purpose. We're focusing in now on lifestyle, and in this section, we're going to have a look at a couple of key lifestyle elements you need to be aware of so you can ride the challenging waves of life without wiping out in stress. In this part of our program, we're going to have a look at sleep and how to make sure you look after your sleep and stay rested. We're also going to spend some time on diet and how to eat healthy and live healthy, as well as exercise, staying fit, a really important part of riding challenging waves, and interests and activities, keeping balanced in our lives. Let's focus in now on lifestyle. In this section, we want to have a look at some important lifestyle factors that help us manage the waves of life and prevent wipeouts. These are sleep, diet, exercise, and interests. I'll also briefly touch on another important tip, and that's the area of self-discipline. Sleep, the keys to success. One of the things that can go wrong very early on when a stressful wave of life hits you is that you stop sleeping effectively. That might mean you stay up too late or that you wake up too early. Sometimes we also have other problems which upset our sleep. Sleep is one of the most vital things that we need as human beings to stay healthy, to stay resilient, and to keep our well-being optimal, particularly when we're under pressure with the waves of life. Here are some keys to success. Firstly, go to bed when you're sleepy every night. And it doesn't matter if you go to bed a little earlier or a little later than usual, as long as you're sleepy. However, unlike when you go to bed, when you wake up, it's a different story. You need to get up at roughly the same time every morning. That's really important to what we call regulate your sleep-wake cycle. So just to recap, when you're sleepy in the evening, go to bed when you're ready. However, every morning, get up at the same time. While you're asleep, or while you're trying to get to sleep, if you can't sleep, you need to stop and get up and do something relaxing. There's no point lying in bed worrying or restless. Get up, get out of bed and do something relaxing. Things I'd recommend include reading a book or looking perhaps at photo albums or happy images. Avoid the TV if it gets you too alert and awake. Keep it as relaxing as possible. And as soon as you feel that sense of sleepiness again, head back to bed. Another important key to the success of good sleep is avoiding caffeine, cigarettes, and alcohol after about 4 p.m. Most of us tend to have problems with one or more of these things into the evenings. But remember, caffeine and cigarettes are stimulants and they'll keep you awake at night and get no sleep. And alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. And what that really means practically is the type of sleep we have won't be refreshing or deep. We will have shallow sleep and still feel terrible the next day. Exercise regularly to get a good night's sleep. This is key to helping you get to bed and feel sleepy at night. When you haven't done much exercise, you can get out of routine and stay up too late and get into unhealthy patterns. And finally, if you're lying in bed at night and you can't sleep, the old notepad by the side of the bed's a good tip so you can stop and write things down. This is particularly helpful if you suddenly remember things you want to do the next day. Jot them down and then back to sleep. Moving on in exploring the third element of lifestyle is the area of diet. Keys to success here are obvious to most of us. For many of us growing up, we all got taught what they call the healthy food pyramid, and you can see that image now. And it's obvious we need to eat most around those grains and fruits and vegetables. They're really going to do good things for us when it comes to managing the waves of life and preventing wipeouts and stress. We also need to eat moderately the meat, poultry, eggs, beans, and milk products, and eat least the stuff that many of us enjoy the most, the fats, the sugars, and the salts. No rocket science there, but it's so important to understand the basics for our diet when we're trying to manage stressful waves of life. Another thing to consider with diet is having regular meals at planned times and eating at that meal time, even if you're not hungry. Keep your body in a good routine so it's consuming food at regular intervals. Just like the information about sleep, with diet, we want to limit the amount of caffeine that we have. We want to avoid snacking too much. And one thing I find is the principle, if you don't buy it, you won't eat it. Having said that, it's still important to have a little treat here and there. And most important of all, don't rush when you're eating. Stop and take time to enjoy the experience and spoil yourself with healthy meal choices that you really enjoy. As we head through the third element of lifestyle, our next step is exercise. The keys to success here when managing waves of life are firstly consistency. Regular exercise is important to managing stressful waves of life. Even a 20-minute walk 3 times a week is a good start. Do something you enjoy because it's always easier to maintain that. Some people like swimming, others are walkers or runners. Plenty of people seem to like cycling these days. Whatever it is, make sure it's something you just naturally prefer. Some of us hate exercise, and I say to us, well, work out something you don't like the least. If you find all exercise hard, then pick something you can tolerate the best. The great thing for many of us, though, is once we get started, the enjoyment factor increases. So exercise is a good thing. Another one on exercise is about an exercise partner or having someone you can do those activities with. If you're new to a town or don't have many connections there, join a walking club or walk around the shopping centre where you can see other people and stay engaged. Keep yourself motivated. At a clinical level, exercise improves sleep and increases metabolism. So the good news there is you can eat more and eat a more diverse diet, but not necessarily increase your weight. Exercise also increases your endorphins, which are chemicals in the front of your brain that make you feel happy and give you a high sense of self-esteem. In managing that third element of lifestyle, we also need to consider interests, your interests and hobbies. It's good to have some balance here when managing stressful waves of life. Keys to success here are about having a broad range of interests and hobbies. Take opportunities to be both outdoors and also with other people. Don't let your interests keep you inside locked up alone. Join a sporting club or cooking class. Keep yourself interested, and don't forget, sometimes you need to try a few hobbies or interests before you find one that really suits what you want. Don't be afraid to have a few failures when you're developing a broader range of interests. When it comes to interests, if you're also working a lot and managing the family, you need to have interests, but don't have too many. Don't get too busy and burn out. Conversely, avoid not having any interest at all, because if you're not busy enough, you'll tend to worry and lack focus. Now, I promised you we'd look at the final tip in this third element of lifestyle, which is about self-discipline. And self-discipline is about delaying gratification. That's the cornerstone of all successful people. But what does that really mean? Well, it really means you need to have the ability to delay a reward you give yourself to increase the length of time you don't do something that you want to avoid, like not losing your temper, not drinking, not smoking. And once I've managed to not do that for a while, I give myself a reward. Another form of self-discipline is when you delay a reward to increase the positive occurrence of a behaviour, i.e., I might study more, complete more of my work, get all my chores done, complete an exercise routine I don't feel like doing, and then I give myself a reward. How good are you at self-discipline, and how do you use self-discipline to help you manage your lifestyle? Remember, it's the cornerstone of all successful people. Exercise, lifestyle, and your current wave. We're going to bring this third element together now by focusing in on that current wave you've nominated throughout this recovery program. Write it down and let's develop an action plan. Have a look at those areas we've just covered: sleep, diet, exercise, and interests. You can see healthy and unhealthy ways we can manage this element of lifestyle. Tick the boxes that are relevant and then write down at the bottom some tips for yourself about lifestyle to prevent a wipeout in the context to your current wave of life. Welcome back. How did you go with that exercise about lifestyle and your current wave? As I'm doing this program with you, I want to show you the results of my exercise. And remember, my current wave is about missing my kids, which is a big wave. When I look through the areas of my lifestyle I need to think about, you can see that I've ticked diet, exercise, and interests. And I've made some notes about how to prevent a wipeout in terms of my lifestyle. In terms of diet, you'll see that I need to make sure I don't snack too much or comfort eat if I'm bored or frustrated. You'll see with exercise that I need to, if anything, up my exercise as a way of positively coping with life, and also with interest, how I need to maintain that balance and stay in touch with friends and keep regular schedules of contact with close family and friends.